Welcome to Study Loop.
So the question right here is asking us to find the initial velocities of a car and a pickup truck when they crash together, and after they crash, they're moving at 16 meters per second in the direction of 24 degrees east of north. So by reading the question, we can tell that this is an inelastic equation question. And the inelastic equation goes a little bit like this. M1 multiplied by V1 equals m1 plus m2, all multiplied by the final velocity. So we can create, well, firstly, let's draw the diagram. So this is the mass of the car plus the mass of the truck, and now it's moving at 16 meters per second in the angle of 24 degrees east of north. So me personally, I prefer to work with this angle here, which would be north of east. And in order to get that angle, you can just do 90 minus 24, and that will give you 66. So instead of 24 east per north, we can use 66 north of east, sorry. So we know our two givens, which is the mass of the car, and the mass of the car is 950 kilograms. And we also know the mass of the truck, which is 1,900 kilograms. So now this is just a matter of isolating the equation and trying to find the first initial velocity of each car. But because they're moving in a diagonal direction, we need to split this question into two components. So firstly, let's find the velocity in the x direction. And reading the question rather, we know that the yellow car, the one that weighs 950 kilograms, is the one traveling east. So finding the initial velocity of the car moving in the x direction will give us the initial velocity of the first car, or the yellow car. So let's create the equation. MC VC equals MC plus MT, and then we have our velocity final. Now we just need to change this equation a little bit, because this will give us the direction if it was going in a diagonal direction. Now we need to find the x component, right? In order to find the x component, that means we need to find this right here. And in order to find that, we just need to do the cosine of the angle. So in order to isolate for the initial velocity, all we need to do is divide everything by the mass of the car. So let's rewrite the equation. MC plus MT, and then velocity final cosine theta, all divided by the mass of the car. And then from there, we can just plug in our numbers. So that would be 950 kilograms plus 1900. Then it'd be the velocity of the final, so 16, and then cosine theta, or rather cosine 66, all divided by 950. And when I plug that into my calculator, I get 19.5 meters per second. So now we found everything in the x direction, which gives us the velocity of the yellow car. We now need to find the initial velocity of the truck. So let's do everything in the y component. So in order to do that, we need to find this right here. And we can do the exact same thing, but finding the sine of the angle. So now let's create the equation again. So it's mt this time, vt equals mc plus mt multiplied by vf sine theta. And then we can plug in our numbers. Or first, let's rearrange the equation. So it's mc plus mt vf sine theta, and then divided by mt. So now let's plug in our numbers. 950 plus 9,000 or 1,916 sine 66, all divided by 1,900. And if I plug that into my calculator, I get 21.9 meters per second. So that means the velocity of the car initially was 19.5 meters per second, and the velocity of the truck was 21.9 meters per second initially.